Most men think the strong thing to do is suppress emotions, especially the uncomfortable ones. And by the way, I'm right where everybody else is in this. Like rejection, shame, jealousy, these uncomfortable emotions. And when those emotions show up, like guilt, it tags along. You think, if I feel this, I'm giving in. I sit with it, I'll get stuck in it forever. But that's a lie. The truth is, you can't control your circumstances. You can only control how you respond. There was a time in my life where this hit me hard. I remember one night my wife asked me why I had forgotten to pay a bill. That's all it was. But the moment she said it, I felt a surge of shame. In my head, I heard, "You're irresponsible, you're a failure, she must think you're useless." And instead of saying what I was really feeling, I shut down. I went cold. I got defensive. But the damage wasn't just the argument. The damage was in me because I never learned how to sit with emotions like shame or guilt or rejection without either running from them or lashing out. For years, I thought if I just ignored those feelings, if I shoved them down, they'd disappear. But they never did. They built pressure until they exploded out of me in anger or withdrawal. Here's what I've learned. Emotions aren't the enemy. They're signals. They're telling you what's happening in your heart. Suppression doesn't make them go away. It just makes them come out sideways. Feeling your emotions doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. Because when you feel them honestly, you can respond instead of react. Let me break it down. If you ignore rejection, it turns into resentment. If you ignore shame, it turns into rage. And if you ignore jealousy, it turns into distance in your relationships. But if you name them, something shifts. Think about telling your wife this. When you asked me why I forgot to pay that bill, it made me feel irresponsible. And I started thinking you see me as a failure. That kind of honesty clears the air. That's what real men sound like. It brings light to the darkness of ignorance. It builds trust instead of walls. So how do you actually practice this? Number one, name it. Put words to what you feel. Even if you just write it down, say, I feel shame. I feel jealousy. Share it. Start with God, of course. Pray honestly. Don't clean it up. Then when it feels safe, share it with your wife or a trusted friend. And 3, stay in it. Don't run from discomfort. Breathe through it. Let the wave pass instead of reacting right away. That's what real strength looks like. And here's the faith piece. God isn't afraid of your emotions. Jesus himself wept, got angry, felt joy, felt sorrow. Scripture never says emotions are weakness. It says, be angry and do not sin. That means it's not about whether you feel, but about what you do with what you feel. Your emotions are meant to draw you closer to God, not push you into shame. So let me ask you, what's the emotion you've been running from lately? Is it shame, jealousy, guilt? What would change in your marriage, your faith, your purpose if you actually sat with it instead of stuffing it down? Feeling your emotions doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. It gives you the power to respond, not react. Remember that. Fire is emotion. Fire is you.